Mr. Black Show. You already know who I am. For people who may not know, I'm Mr. Black, and this is my show. Keep it real simple and brief. Now, this is my guest. Whoever y'all may know him from Saturday Morning Cartoon. Y'all may know him from his other works that he have done, his other books. But today we focus on the book currently out right now, Kirk Danger, Retired Monster Hunter. My boy, Mr. Amazing, aka Mr. Leroi R. Reed, because using his professional name, that's on the cover of the book. But today, let's keep it all nicknames. Mr. Amazing, man. How you doing today, brother, man?
I'm good. The world has a lot of Mr. Amazings, but that is why I'm definitely amazing. Everybody else you're amazing, but it's not definitive. That's why I'm definitely amazing. I'm good, man. I'm happy. I'm alive. It's storming outside, so
Yes, over here in
I
New
could
York,
be
for people
outside.
that is not here.
I could be outside, but I'm in here with the man, Mr. Black. Thanks for having me on the show, man.
No problem. So let's get straight into it, man. Who's
With
Kirk
it.
Danger? Why Kirk Danger to lead to be your main character? Why Kirk Danger? Why him?
Man, Kurt Danger is a retired monster hunter who can't stay retired.
Mm-hmm.
And
Kind of
what
like
I mean by,
Undertaker.
yeah, he's the Undertaker. What I mean by he can't stay retired is as soon as he sees something happening with a monster, he could walk away, but he won't. And that gets him in a lot of trouble. He retired for reasons that you find out in the second book. Yes, this is a series, but I think his main problem is he just wants to stay retired and drink his whiskey and drink his beer, but he can't.
Why?
And here's the reason why. It's his overall conscience and his overall dislike for monsters. He thinks, monsters come in all different shapes and sizes, but he also believes that the real monsters of the world are not with scales and fangs and hair. The real monsters of the world are humans. So he just hates that. He hates for bad people to do things to people that are good. So he sticks his nose into situations that he shouldn't. And you'll probably ask me this because I know you're a great interviewer. So, I apologize if I jump over a question.
No
But
problem. No problem.
the origin of Kurt Danger all stems from a fever dream that I had. I anyone that knows about being sick, when you're sick, your dreams are worse.
Yeah.
So
you see some things.
Yes. So I was having this dream, and I'm getting chased by 30 werewolves, and they're chasing me, and I do the horror movie White Girl Stumble, and I fall down this hill into these pair of legs, and I look up, and it's this old man, and he says, "Get behind me." And he throws up a grenade, and he shoots the grenade, and it blows up the first bit of the werewolves, and then he just shoots the rest of them.
Were you putting him cry before you went to sleep or something?
No,
that sounds like a real Dante-esque move.
Right. And he tells me you should get up, and I say, "Who are you?" And he says, "The name's Kurt Danger, and you got a fever. Wake up." And I wake up with about like 115 fever, like sick. And I wake up and I immediately write the name Kurt Danger down in the book. So I always knew that I needed to write something about that character. Everything else just came later.
So let me ask you a question. When he spoke to you, what kind of voice did he hear?
He sounded like Ron Perlman. So he sounded like original Hellboy. He just sounded like someone who just doesn't give a rat's ass about what's going on. I just want to kill whatever I got to kill so I can go home.
Mm-hmm.
And
So
that
let me
and
ask
that.
you. So let me ask you a question. You know, obviously, to the people who may not know, this is probably your third book, and it's definitely a different genre usually tackled. You know, to
Definitely.
people who may not know, what are your two previous books so people could check it out, and why different from that genre that you was previously writing for to this one?
So yeah, you know, I've always been a great storyteller. So I've always wrote different genres all the time. My differences in genres always stemmed from me just liking. I like to write different stories that appeal to different people in different ways. Um, Around the time of high school, I started writing um, erotic poetry. I started writing
You're nasty nigga.
I started writing erotic poetry for women. There was a woman in my life who liked to read my poetry, and she wanted me to write, more explicit poetry, and I did it. So, um, before I knew it, around maybe 2000 and I'm thinking 2008, 2009, I had amassed about 20 poems of an erotic nature that all kind of sound like they were in the same realm. So after I interviewed a really, really great friend of mine by the name of Karan Streeter, he's a very great author who has two great books, and I'm gonna plug him real quick. Take the Burdens of Fate, and he has I can't think of his other book, but Karan Streeter, um, great author. I interviewed him for definitelyamazing.com, and at the end of our interview, he said, "Hey man, you know that all those poems you got, like you can like independently release those too." And I was like, "Wait, what?" So I came out with the book to prove that I can put out a book, and then the fan base out of nowhere asked, "Well, why isn't the females that you talk about in the book? Why don't we have curvier words said?" So I said, "Okay, I'm gonna write a book all about BBWs." So I wrote Sensual Reality, and then Sensual Reality presents Thick Girls Taste Better is the second book.
So let me
Um,
ask you a question. Where can people read your two previous
they
books when they're
can
done reading the current book?
So you can buy those two books as they are now, and I will explain what I mean by as they are. As they are now, you can buy them on Amazon. You could definitely go on Amazon, type in Sensual Reality, and you will find both of those books. You can type that into Google, and you will find both of those books. Um, but if you want to wait, next year in the springtime, they're being re-released with new covers and new content. um, and followed up by the third installment in that series.
So let me ask you a question. People have to know this. Did that help you get laid?
No, not back then. Not when I first started writing. Um, has it helped me get laid after? I don't know. I don't know if I could say that, bro. I could say this, bro. I could say people are more interested in who the person is behind the words, and then when they find out, they're like, "You're a man," and I'm like, because for some strange reason, it's weird to be a black man in the erotic world as a writer, as a
Yeah,
writer.
they're
Um,
usually more performers.
but you gotta know what you go. You gotta know what you're coming on for when you're on the Mr. Black show. Um, um, I was prepared. This is nothing new. Me and you have already been on each other's shows before.
I surprise people a
But,
lot of times with the stuff I say. Something I go, I want to know. Like, I really want
right,
to know this. So
right.
someone else is gonna ask this. So apparently, like you said, it didn't help you get girls.
No,
Did
I
it?
don't think it helped me get women back in the day, but now that I'm a bachelor again, um, there are a lot of women who just want to know more about the person who writes these books, and sometimes I'm confused. Like, is it that you want to know more about the person that writes these books because you want to know if I do these things in the books in the bedroom, or is it that you want to know more about me? Because sometimes I have to walk that thin line. Like,
It's a mixture
why
of both. It's a
why
mixture
are
of
we
both.
here? Who sent you? Yeah,
It's a mixture of both, bro.
I know, I know.
It's a mixture of
Um,
both because, like, example, when I first started the Travelteers, you know that was the Wild Wild West. The Wild West.
you're
Wow.
right. You're right.
You'd be surprised how many girls that, like, I don't like to brag or talk about it. You'd be surprised how many girls just talk to me because they thought that I was just always just ranchy all the time, just like always just talking nastiness. When it met the news was like, oh, he's smart. Oh, he was talking
Right.
about other things. Oh, he actually don't want to just have sex with me. He kind of precautious having sex with me. And
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
surprise people. Okay, let me ask
Yeah.
you a question. Who was the one person that you were surprised that read your two books or one of the books, just in general, read your book?
I'm never surprised by who reads the books. I'm more surprised by who's surprised that I wrote the books. This is the constant struggle I deal with, because I deal with it now with Kurt Danger. People who read the first two books, when they find out I wrote a book about monsters, they initially say, "So is this a monster sex book?" And I'm like, "No, sex."
I mean, I mean, I mean, I mean, honestly, from your previous work until this one, it's kind of like, okay, he probably got bored with humans, so he just mixing up a little bit. It does mix. It is a natural transition, though.
Listen. I'm Quentin Tarantino when it comes to writing. None of
Y'all
my
put your phone
genres.
on. Y'all bring your phone on because I don't want to see your eyes. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
it.
I'm Quentin Tarantino when it comes to writing. so,
Okay,
so
okay.
I say that none of Quentin Tarantino's movies look like each other. So
Yeah,
Quentin
you're right.
Tarantino can come out with a movie that is about old school Hollywood, like the one he just came out with, his last one.
Mm-hmm.
But before that, come out with Django. So just
So,
don't judge the book by
okay,
its cover.
got
I
you,
use that
got you.
that cliche term, but just don't judge the book by its cover.
So you're
Um,
the type of person you take pride of being to write in many diverse genres.
most definitely, most definitely. I someone asked a question on Twitter, in the writing community. They said, "How do you feel about writing multiple genres? And how do you feel about writers that write multiple genres?" And I literally just said, "Don't pigeonhole anybody, because you can't do that to a musician. You can't tell a musician, oh, you only sing about sex songs, and then they want to sing a song about, they want to sing a song about freedom, and you're like, oh, you can't sing about freedom." No,
But then again, this is coming from two people who are naturally creative. We deal with a lot. We
right,
dibble dabble in everything. So to us, we see it as okay. We're not surprised we see artists jump into that. A lot of people only think literally one way. Like Snoop Dogg, for example. This is a great example. Oh, F Snoop Dogg, whatever he does, you decide third, he's a sellout because he don't talk about pimps and hoes no more. Now he's with Martha Stewart. He's a sellout.
right.
Or he's a football coach. He's a sellout. But yet, even better, look at Ice Cube. He went from at the police and stuff like that to now he's over here and doing like the big three, and he's doing movies Ari Darian and Ride
and,
Along. Like,
and
really?
he's still on his F the police tip, but it's just like we are the human race is full of onions. People don't want to delve into the layers. We're full of people who are 7 layer, 8 layer cakes, but people only look at the top. They look at the most layer.
Of course, but again, it's all about familiarity, something that they're
Yeah,
familiar with. Like
true, true.
look at Kanye West. People always say repeatedly, "I miss the old Kanye," and I always
Right.
say, "Bro, Kanye West cannot rap about what he rapped about before because he ain't broke. Kanye West cannot talk about I'm trying to achieve my dreams and goals if he's literally accomplishing everything.
Right,
We live in
right.
an era where, yo, you don't even have to pay for music. You can just go on YouTube, deal with the commercials, and that's it. Listen to all of Kanye West. And even
You're right.
that, something better, Dat Piff. You want to listen to it's like his mixtape stuff. So I agree with you that you shouldn't pigeonhole yourself. But my thing is this, like, this is my follow-up question. Like, what are your goals for this book? That you want
For
to
Kurt Danger.
how that yes. For Kirk Jenkins, retired Monster Hunter, what are your goals that you have set yourself for this book?
Believe it or not, my goal when I first started writing this book was very simple. Get this story out and allow people the opportunity to learn about this character and see what they say. Then I said, oh, I want to make a series. So now I want people to read this first book and want to read the second book. When the second book's done, I want people to read the third book. Um, do I look ahead? I always look ahead with everything I do. Saturday morning cartoons and cereal is a show that I have the full mindset to pitch to different genres and different networks. So I want to do the same thing with Kurt Danger if the audience permits it. If the audience loves Kurt Danger and they say they want Kurt in other mediums, I'm down for it because Kurt Danger is a great freaking character. There are great characters in the book. I have a great female lead in the book, Elizabeth Ortiz, who is Egyptian and Spanish. I have a black guy by the name of Baxter Wordsworth. He's a great character. He's a badass, and he has an afro. I just have some really great characters. So I want people to read the characters. I want people to experience what when you have the baby, your creative baby, you just want people to experience the creative baby. So this is what Kurt Danger. This is the goal for Kurt Danger now, and just to get people to read the book. The goal for Kurt Danger when book 3 is done,
Okay.
that's the limit.
So I have so do you still get the same excitement as you did when you first wrote your first book?
Yeah, I mean, Kurt Danger. I get excited about everything that I write, but I will say this: while writing Kurt Danger, just about maybe a month ago, I came up with an idea for another series. So I have like another series in my head that I'm going to write as soon as Kurt Danger 3 is finished. So the excitement is still there. When I get an idea and I get sparked, I'm like, yeah, we got to do that. So like I'm always excited. It's the same thing when I come up with the ideas for Saturday morning cartoons cereal for the topics. I get excited about every topic because I do the research on the topic myself. So it's like I I come in with this vast amount of knowledge about the topic, and then I'm like, oh man, who can I get to be the perfect guest to discuss this topic? So for me, when it comes to writing these books, it's damn, that scene was amazing. When I finish a scene, I finish a chapter, I'm like, damn, that was amazing. I can't wait for someone to read it. There are so many scenes in this book that I want people to just read, um, that I just can't wait to see what people think. We got our first review not too long ago.
How was that?
It's a 5-star review. So really, really proud of that. And it was a 5-star review that was very detailed. They were saying that it's the kind of book that, continues to keep you wanting to read more. And yeah, I mean, I don't want to toot my own horn, but I'm on an interview to talk about my book, so I'm going to toot it. Kurt Danger, Retired Monster Hunter, is fucking amazing. And you are going to ride that roller coaster from the start to the finish, and you're gonna be exhausted at the end. And that's what I want. I want you to be like, whoa.
So,
Yeah,
what do you say your ultimate goal is to make it to like a series or to a movie?
it would be wonderful if it became a series. It'd be wonderful. It'd be wonderful
Okay.
if
So next,
got it to do,
so both of us are wrestling fans. So next fantasy book, that's what the marks say, or the smarts will say. So that's fantasy book your book, and let's give and take. Who do you want as your lead actor?
Haha.
Who will be Kurt Danger?
Damn it. I hope that he's not so done with the world of acting by the time this happens. But let's say 5 years from now, I get it onto TV. You can give me Ron Perlman,
Who is that?
from Hellboy.
Oh yeah. Right.
So you can give me him, or you can give me Hopper from Stranger Things. So I'm still in the Hellboy realm. You can give me, dang it, who else is another good one? I can't think of who else for Kurt. But I can tell you this. I know exactly who I want for Elizabeth Ortiz.
Who?
All right. So Elizabeth Ortiz, because she's Egyptian and Spanish, she looks very very, I don't want to use the word exotic, I hate that word, but she looks like really, really cool and really, really dope. And she's a fierce ass woman. And if I could get, I know she's a big wig, but if I could get freaking Rosario Dawson to play Elizabeth Ortiz.
Who's that again? I can't think of the name. Who's that again?
Rosario was in Sin City. She's Rosario's in everything. She was I've seen almost all her movies. Rosario Dawson. She most recently was she's on is that Showtime or USA? She's on USA. Can't think of the show's name right now, but she's on USA in a show where she's trying to find out who killed her sister. Very dope show.
Okay. I know
Yeah,
who that is. Okay.
yeah.
So what about the black guy? I forgot his name. Who you managed to cast for him?
Yeah. Baxter Wordsworth. I would cast Baxter Wordsworth. The person that the whole book. He's a real person named Baxter Wordsworth.
What he played in?
He's a good friend of mine. He hasn't played anything. He's a rapper. And I came up with the character because I listened to one of his great projects called Baxter Wordsworth is Doomed. And it was like, oh, I like this. And I was writing the original Kurt Danger, and I was like, I need Baxter Wordsworth. So I hit him up. I was like, yo, I want to put you on my book. He's like, all right, do it. I'm like, all right. That's how that happened.
Okay, well, that answered my question about the book. So let's give people some little bit of background about yourself. Like, did you go to college?
Yeah.
How was upbringing? So give me like a general walkthrough of who you are as a person.
So I grew up in East New York, Brooklyn. I was a product of a single mom home.
I think a lot of us were.
God bless
that
the
should
dead.
Be funny. Let me stop laughing.
Yeah, I mean, but God bless the dead. My mom passed away years ago. But she was my biggest supporter when it came to all of the creative things that I always had to tell her. I used to have a show that I had in my head that I would act out for my friends called The Randin Show. So there's an exclusive for you. And everybody on the block knew about The Randin Show. Not everybody liked it. Some people thought I was annoying. But
like, what were you doing to like present The Randin Show to the
I would wait till I get a group of people and I would say, hey guys, you want to see the next episode of The Randin Show? And if they were interested, they'd be like, hell yeah, I would do it.
So you would act out all the characters?
All the characters.
Can I hear a skip from The Randin Show, like one episode?
Oh man. Dang, that's old.
Wow,
so Yeah, it's old. So Randy had he became a best-selling author, and he had his own business. At one point, so this is later season. Yes, um,
Wow.
and he is he's dating he's dating this woman who is a nurse. So he says to her, he says, "So I want to go to this party because I have to go. I don't want to go. I just have to go, and I would love for you to come. I'm not coming to this goddamn party, Randy. Why not? It's an amazing event with people who are okay. Yeah, everyone at that party's lame. I get it. You don't want to come. I get it. I don't want to go. But if you come and I go, then we we come and go together. You do know that you just said come and go together, right? I I totally didn't mean that when I said it. I, wow, I definitely yeah. So that's just one of the interactions that he had with his wife. I also lost my wife. I also got it
Yo,
on
what the hell?
yeah
Dude,
yeah seven,
how old are you,
seven
like 10?
no
The hell?
no oh no hold on. I kept Randy show going for years. I just didn't do. I just it just became something I wrote down after a while. But
Oh, I'm gonna say, yo, dude, I'm like 10 doing this. Come on, my wife is dying. Damn, dude, that's kind of miserable. How
right
kid were you?
But yeah, everybody loved the Randy show. My mom was really big on one of the things that made me the author I am today. My mom used to take me to Barnes and Nobles to get a new book all the time. So I always got new books. I was reading Sherlock Holmes from the age of 4. So that's the type of person I was growing
Classic. Were you into
up.
like, well, the books that we were more into, like, were you into Goosebumps, the Babysitter Club, and stuff
Yeah.
like that?
Not the Babysitters Club, but I read Animorphs. I don't know if you know about that one.
Boy,
Yes.
On Nickelodeon,
Yeah.
it was like
Animorphs.
either before Are You Afraid of the Dark and after. Then
Yeah.
after it was
Yeah.
Nick News with that boring lady, had everyone sit in a circle and talk. Man, they
Yeah.
had us. No lie.
Yeah.
Sorry to all track your story. I have to say that back in the day, there was more emphasis on education than ever.
Oh yeah.
I realized that like they pushed us to read. You know, they put even though that Nick News was mad boring, but it was mad informative though. But just to
Oh,
put that during the time
definitely.
it came on, it was definitely groundbreaking. You know, it was focused on more of the news. That's why I feel like, yeah, our generation have our millenniums, we have our issues. Don't get me wrong. A lot of
Oh
us will
yeah.
have me like,
Definitely. But
I
we
realize.
had a different world though.
And our upbringing is a lot different because you'll get more people like us who see more of the gray area. You know, they see more of the gray area. Back in the day, to our parents, either black and white. Very few elders in the time saw the gray area. At least with us, you have people like us who see more of the gray area, and then our other friends, they're more black and white. But you could be they open to hear a
Yeah.
different POV or something. That's what I noticed about back in the day. The fact that you said Barnes and Nobles and all that, I'm looking like Animorphs,
Yeah.
man. The cover, yo, you saw the person
The
a
covers of the
regular
book.
like this, they go do do do, and look, a little
Oh,
Easter
and I
egg.
got an exclusive for you. I got an exclusive for you. So, and people only find this out when they read the book, but Animorphs, why I loved Kay Applegate back then was
Yeah, put it here.
when she had when she created the when she would talk about the morphing, she would talk about it in such a visceral way. She would talk about how the bones would crack and they would crumble and melt into different things, and that's how you would form the wolf's head and stuff like that. So my favorite book is Cassie turning into the wolf. And that book, the explanation for how Cassie turned into the wolf is what I use when my werewolves transform.
Wow,
So a little exclusive.
wow,
But yeah,
wow.
I grew up reading those books. I grew up, watching all types of cartoons and watching all types of literature. and that led me to want to become a great writer. So when it was time for me to go to college, my
What
college,
college did you attend?
I'm about to tell you, so my college advisor, she told me, if you want to go to college, there's no better college to go to than for a writer than the college that Langston Hughes went to. And I was like, oh, this one? And she's like, no, that's the one he later on graduated from. But the one he went to was Lincoln University. I knew nothing about Lincoln University at that point,
Where's
but
that at?
it's in Pennsylvania, Oxford, Pennsylvania. It's the official first HBCU. Others claim to be the first HBCU, but we were the first one that granted actual degrees.
So how was your experience going to Oxford? Did it help you? Not Oxford. It's Oxford,
Uh,
correct?
well, Lincoln University was in Oxford, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
Uh,
Sorry.
uh,
So Lincoln University, and you being HBCU, how did that help you shape who you are today?
um, the person that interviewed you on Saturday Morning Cartoon Serial, Random Man, who I am, but it's just a little more animated. That started in Lincoln. My first big thing in Lincoln was I had a radio show. I had a hit radio show. I had a award-winning, 3 awards radio show. I had a show called Random Man and Silk. Random Man and Silk. Random Man was me and my co-host was Silk. Um, we interviewed people. Um, we played music. We did weird versus battles. That was the first time I ever created a versus battle between Prince and Michael Jackson on air. Um, uh, and we
So
told
you was originator of versus battles before versus battles got popular.
right, right, right. And I won't get my credit because none of my tapes are available. Um, but I should be given the credit for versus battle. But yeah, I mean, Lincoln shaped who I am today. I actually wrote some of the poems and short stories that are in the first Sensual Reality book. I wrote
Wow.
those at Lincoln. Um,
Wow. Wow.
um, I did my first stand-up comedy at Lincoln. So the stand-up comedian I am today is because of Lincoln.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, I mean, I wrote my first screenplay at Lincoln. Like Lincoln did a lot for me. I didn't graduate from Lincoln because of money, but I have a lot of great memories from Lincoln and a lot of great friends. And then I came back home, and after being in a funk about not being able to go back to school, my friend told me to snap out of it and do something with my life, and I started Definitely Amazing. And from Definitely Amazing, here we are.
Wow.
12 years, 12 years later, still rocking out
it's
with Definitely Amazing.
it sounds like a typical coming of age story of every inner city kid's face. Like they go away for college, they realize that college is not for them, or either college not for them, money issue. They go back, like you said, like you either sink or you
Yeah.
swim. No,
Oh,
sink is down.
I'm
You
I'm
swim.
big on that.
Yeah.
I have a couple of mentors, and one of my greatest mentors, Mr. Holmes, said to me, you know, just because you can't come back to Lincoln doesn't mean it's over. And
Facts.
that was the statement I needed. He was like, you need to take the ball and go down the court or go down the field and score the touchdown. Just because they're leading right now doesn't mean you can't still score a touchdown. If you want to get blown out, that's you. But you don't have to get blown out. The game is not over. And he loved using sports as analogies, but
Those are the best ones.
they fit. They fit. You know, I I I turned his analogy when I became a mentor for kids, and I use it as a wrestling analogy. And I would always say, just because you got hit with the finishing move doesn't mean you lost the match. You can still kick the hell out. So kick out and get your ass back up. Do a kip up and then freaking get your WrestleMania moment. But stop with the crying and
That
letting
is
yourself,
true.
So I'm
That is
big on
true.
let yourself get beat. I got a stress condition that caused that you know about, but not many people know about it, but it cripples my entire body at times. Like I got a lot of reasons why I could have gave up. Season 5 of Saturday Morning Cartoon Serial, episode 1 and 3, were filmed the day my mom passed. I didn't even know I was going to be
Yeah.
able to film the rest of that season. I did. I ended up filming the rest of that season. So there are always going to be slip ups and trips and falls. For me, many more falls than others, but I kept getting back up because I believe, like Kurt Danger believes, you're not dead until you stop breathing.
Well, I agree with you. I mean, listen, you told us a guy that's seen the worst of the worst. Like this time last year, I was homeless. So nobody ever knows that. Like I was homeless. Now look at me now. Like
A lot of people didn't even know about your health issues you were dealing with until they saw our show and you were talking about why you started eating Raisin Bran. Like people didn't
yeah,
know that.
yeah.
This is the reason I love interviewing people and the art of the interview, because I allow the person to tell the people who they are.
Definitely,
You know,
definitely.
answer my
Like as an
question.
interviewer, you're just a escort. You just escorting the person to the question, and it's up to the person who get an interview to answer it how they want to answer it. Because what I learned from watching different Breakfast Club interviews is like, let's say some like Kodak Black. He first went to Breakfast Club. He was just like being mad and weird, right? Everybody look at him like, yo, what's wrong with him? People laughed at him. The second time around, it was better to interview because he played his part. And that's the thing that people don't realize about this world is everybody played a part of the
Give and
big
take.
ecosystem.
It's give
Yes,
and take.
it's give
I
and
can't
take.
give. I can't give you a great question. Like us right now. You could have asked that origin question to me, and I could have like just said, "Oh yeah, I was black. I grew up Israel." Said,
Yeah, I'm here. You're looking like
I could have.
okay, so yeah, and then trust me,
Right.
trust me. Like I seen a lot of bad interviews just full of a lot of dead air, and the other person gets so upset, like, yo, why did I interview this person? It's just so like, trust me, I have stories for days for bad interviews that I did. I go, yeah, I'm logging off. Like,
Yeah.
I know this is bad rude, but I was just so like, for one, I was really tired from work because I work, and by the time I get home is I gotta do an interview. I'm really struggling to even keep up. You're not even being that,
Right. Right.
you're not giving me nothing. This interview
Right.
get cut short. I give you 20 minutes if that, and I'm going to
Right.
bed because I'm
Right.
tired. And
Right.
I cut interviews
I
just like
feel you.
that. You probably been through that. You cut a few interviews very short.
I've been through a lot of bad interviews. Let's just say that. We can get back. We can get back in the clip because if I
Yeah,
start talking
please.
about that,
Yeah, yeah.
I'll put some people out
So
there.
I know that earlier you mentioned that you will continue the Kirk series, and I know that you mentioned that you will continue your previous second book and release the third one for next year. So, what do people get like for the people who've been your fans forever and they want to get a Kirk Danger? What you know? What like someone like me who come into there like they love your work. Like, do you have any bundles for the upcoming holiday
Ah,
season because the holiday season's coming.
okay,
Holiday season
okay,
coming, and people love
okay.
books. And you're a black
All right,
author. I support black businesses. So,
all
for the
right.
people out there that thinking of giving your book as a gift, do you have anything special bundles for those people?
Perfect question. Perfect question. Okay, so in October we are releasing two bundles. The first one will be the Kurt Danger drinking series. It's the drinking collection. And the drinking collection will feature a bottle of whiskey. It will feature the hardcover version of the book. and it will
Mhm.
be a trading card game with our monsters from the book. We will have trading cards inside that. And that's the drinking suit. That's the drink collection. Then we will follow it up in the Christmas season with the paperback version of our lovely collection. And this one, I believe I'm going to call it the classic collection. And what you're going to get in that is you're going to get the paperback book, and each one of them will be signed. So I'm going to sign. I'll sign it everybody's book for both collections. But you get the paperback book. You get a T-shirt, Kurt Danger on the front, and you're going to get poster size, like postcard size, classic movie posters of monsters featured in my book, but done like the monsters, the old monster posters, creature of the Black Lagoon, Dracula, stuff like that. You'll get, and all of these, the cards and those postcards are all designed by the artist Anthony, who designed the cover of the book. So both of those will be a little pricey, but they're worth it, and they're worth every penny because you're getting created art created by the artist. You're getting a signed copy of the book, and you're getting stuff like whiskey. that whiskey bottle alone is $35. So the first one that comes out in October around the Halloween season is going to be $100. You're getting the bottle of whiskey, the hardcover book. I'm trying to get us a T-shirt in there as well, but we're in talks to see how much we should put in the box. But you might get a T-shirt, and you're definitely getting the cards. There'll be 10 cards for each collection, and then in December when we do the paperback version of that, you're gonna get the paperback, the postcards, and you're gonna get a T-shirt. And I'm thinking, yeah, I'm trying to get this for you guys. I gotta work through the publishers for this, but I'm thinking I'm gonna also give you a signed, like something signed by me that's not from the book. So something, a signed personal note to everybody that buys the paperback version. But
Okay.
yeah, that was gonna be that was gonna be $80. So
Okay.
you know,
So
that's for the
this
holiday season.
interview. So this interview sounds great. So this interview it's going to wind down pretty soon. We all gotta head down the road. So what are some of your encouraging words you may have to someone who's watching this that who want to start a book? Like what do you have to tell them to get them on the right track to start their own?
Um, you know, as cliche as it's gonna sound, it's the truth. It's what I got from my mentors. It's what I always tell anybody that wants to write a book. Start writing. Start writing. Write. If you can't write every day, write every week. Um, get your thoughts onto paper. Do research. If you're writing a fictional title, research it. Research other books like it.
Okay.
Um, you know, read, for God's sakes, read books that you, in the genre you want to write. Read those books. See how those books are done. See what you can change. See what you can make better. See what you can fix. But it all stands down to one core belief, and that's right. Right. If you write, if you actually sit there and you write, your book will be complete. If you just sit there with that book in your head, it's never coming out. Same thing with anything you want to do in life for creativity. You got a thought in your head, that's wonderful. But until you put it to act,
Right.
it's a
Right. Well, Mr. Definitely Amazing Man, it's another great interview, man. So again, please, 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 please check out his book, Kurt Danger, Retired Monster Hunter. So please check it out. So, Mr. Definitely Amazing, please plug in your stuff. How can people find you?
Yeah, man. Yeah. I'm all about the plug. So all about the plug. You can find me in anything about Definitely Amazing at Definitely Amazing on any platform. So it's at Definitely Amazing. You can
Mhm.
find anything about Kurt Danger at KD Monster Hunter. So that's letter K, letter D, Monster Hunter. That will give you all you need to know about Kurt Danger, retired Monster Hunter. You can find that on Twitter and on IG. And if you want to know about my erotic series, sensual dot reality dot series, and you'll find out all you need to know about that. And I got and email me on all of my platforms. I got an email there. Email me. You want to know something? You want to know when you want something written about you? You want something? You want to be in a book? You want to email me. That's why we got emails.
All right.
But
All right.
please don't DM me, bro. Because my ignore button is worse than my block button. I will keep you on red. Like, I
Pretty
read it,
much. Pretty much.
but
I read it. I'm not gonna respond back to you.
right.
Bye, brother, man. There's another
Thank
great
you.
interview, man. So again, we have to do this some other time when the world opens back up, man.
Yes,
You definitely have a shot on me at Legends Bar. So
I'm with it.
again, thanks for everybody for checking out the Mr. Black Show. Again, please check out every other show on the Java Tears podcast platform, from the Java Tears podcast, from the Your Sports, the Cats and Dogs, man. It's your boy, Mr. Black. Holla.